Hi, I'm Peter Haddock and I'm here with Pete, who is a very experienced operator, and we're here with Morcom Construction. You've been working with them for a while, Pete, and you've got a machine right here that has got 3D machine control on from Leica Geosystems, and I've watched you grading around here as well for the plots. Tell me a little bit about your journey and how you're finding the machine control.
I started when I was about 16 driving.
16? Right,
yeah,
okay.
so it was nearly 40 years of driving. And yeah, just worked my way up through. I spent a bit of time on the railway, and that's where I learnt the GPS too.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, and then been on with Morcom's 3 years now, and talked Ross into going with the GPS, and he done it.
So not only have you had experience with 3D machine control, you basically said to the boss, "Oi, we need it on site."
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And so, you know, why was that?
I drive a dozer as well, so we mainly got it for the dozer to start with.
Yeah.
And then when the work went quiet for the dozer, I got the digger and said, well, why not utilise the GPS on the digger and the dozer?
Yeah.
So it's the same setup, just move it from one to the other when it's needed.
So you've got the Leica tablet that was in the dozer, and you've just plonked it in here.
Yep.
With the mushrooms, taking it off that machine,
Yep.
using it right there.
Yeah.
Because they can calibrate into the actual tablet, the machine. So whether it's a dozer or
that's
a
right, yeah,
machine,
that
can't
goes
it?
into the cradle.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I got a cradle in the dozer, and then next I can go into Penzance on the dozer. So I'll just take it with me and go away down there.
Fantastic. And so when you're looking at all of the stuff that you've been able to do, how has that changed your life as an operator?
It's easy.
It's just dead easy.
Yeah, your engineer just puts the model into it, and that's it. Away you go. You're not waiting, and any time you haven't got to worry about tracking over pins anymore, scuffing your lines out. It's just there, and just dig away.
And so do you say, look, give me the whole model?
Yeah.
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 And then you're just literally going from one plot to the next and stuff.
Yeah.
And so when you're looking at like what happened before, if you'd knocked the pins out or they'd been knocked out by somebody else, for example, you'd have had to wait for an engineer, you sat in the machine doing nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
So what would you reckon's the difference then between somebody like you that is now machine control ready as an operator, as such like the machines are, and what you would have been doing before?
I reckon it's speeded it up 50%.
50%?
Yeah.
So you're 50% more productive?
Yeah.
And so the less fuel burn,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. From your perspective, obviously, you know, you want to enjoy what you're doing as a job as well. And has it made it easier? I mean, it's a guide.
That's
for you,
right.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when you're looking at somebody that's had 40 plus years in the seat, as somebody didn't look old enough, Pete, to be fair, what would you say to them if they're a bit nervous or if they're a bit anxious about, like, somebody's suggesting we might bring 3D machine control?
Don't be afraid of it.
No?
Don't be afraid of it. Just like I say, just play around with it, and the more you play with it, the better it'll come. Yeah. No, definitely. Way forward.
Well, certainly Pete's been playing here on the site, around with it, digging plots and stuff, and now we're levelling the ground at the moment today when we've come along. And Pete, I really appreciate meeting people like yourself, because not only have you helped a business go that technology journey, but you're also a huge advocate of it as well. And you know, it's obviously making your job a lot easier, and it's great to see. And there's a young man further down that you've been going head to head with here on the plot, and I guess, you know, you've been able to mentor him a bit as well.
Yeah.
Tell me how's that's worked.
His was only calibrated yesterday, but like he's been over here for the last month now, so I've thrown him in my digger and he's had a go, and I've given him guidance on what to do, how to get over stuff and that, and which models to look at, and so he's just played around with it, and now he's all right, happy enough to carry on.
And that's critical, isn't it? That's the whole point, people. When you've got a good operator like you've got Pete here, who's got the experience, give him the opportunity to mentor somebody else that comes through. Then it's a lot simpler, and it's a lot less stressful for anybody, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So Pete, who's 50% more productive, he reckons, better get back to work, mate, because I've helped you up for 50% of that time now.
Yeah.
Great to meet you, man. I really
Thank you.
appreciate talking to you
No
today.
worries. I do. Cheers.
We're with Josh, who literally has got this machine wired up for Leica Geosystems ready last week. Buckets calibrated yesterday. First time you're in the machine on your own as an operator with 3D machine control. How does it feel today?
At first it was a little bit daunting, really.
Yeah.
But truthfully, now I've actually had a go at it, and yeah, it's user friendly. I think it's the best way to describe it. It's quite easily, going in all the models and everything like that. I'm not very computer literate anyway, but yeah, it's easy enough for really anybody to use. It's ideal, yeah.
And what's really interesting is Josh has been mentored previously with a machine that the team at Morcom Construction actually had with Pete, who's an operator of over 40 years that we've spoken to. That's really important for somebody like yourself, isn't it? To learn the ropes properly from someone that knows what they're doing.
Well, I've been in the trade for 10 years this week.
Yeah.
But actually in the machine for probably 5-6 years now, and yeah, this is just opens up to a new, completely different ball game. It's everything, whatever you need for drainage, foundations, is there. So yeah, it's ideal.
And so when you're looking at the tablet and stuff, are you already able to just pick your spots and on the site here and just get on with the job?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's just, yes, plonk it on and ready to go, yeah.
So what would you say to anybody that's your sort of age that's coming into the industry that might have some experience but never tried machine control before?
All I can say is give it a go.
Fantastic. So here's Josh, first day in the cab, and he said to me, Peter, I'll have a chat with you, because he wants other people to learn all about the benefits of machine control just as much as he has. And the journey's starting yet again now, 5 years an operator, but only one day, Josh, so far.
Chucked in the deep end.
Exactly, and the best of luck to you in the future, mate.
Thank you, my man, thank you.